All right, Dodge Neon, and srt4, probably very similar to a lot of the Chrysler rear latches. Okay, so this goes in your door, and when you shut it, it latches like that. Okay, and then some of these are for the lock, some of them are for the rods that actually open the door. Let me see if I can get the right one. So that one will open it, and then that'll pop out. Okay, if you see, I'm holding this open, so this is a little springed. It should be a little bit more than that. Sometimes what happens is this moves the inner latch here, okay, that's inside here, and what happens is that latch piece gets locked. There's actually, let's see if we can see the spring. There's a spring down in there. That actually gets locked. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this apart. It's been a bunch of years since I did this, so I'm just going to do this right here quick. Pull this apart. Hopefully I can get this right the first time. There will also be a little seal here on this side. That actually goes to the inside of the metal on the door. You might be able to just pull back just a little bit. This metal piece, I think, goes down pretty far on this side. You can always cut this out of something else if you're worried about putting it back on there, if it causes a problem. All right, so here we go. All right, now we're inside. I've seen these built up with a bunch of, what would you say, grease. So see what happens? This is what it does. Not blow the spring out, obviously. I gotta get this one back down in here. Okay. So this one, this is what happens, okay? So what happens is this gets stuck up, and then you're trying to shut your door, and this thing's not catching that. All right. So normally what I'll do is I'll just pop this side out. And you can get in here and you can clean any of the grease, because you can see it getting on my fingers. Sometimes I'll give this a little stretch, make it a little bit longer, more springy. Push it down in. This is actually supposed to have this right here going through there to hold it in place. So I'm going to do that just so I can show you. Come on, grab it. Alright, so it's tight. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to hold this. It's going to come up, and see, now we're latched. Alright. So that's that problem. This here, with the spring that's in that's the one for that latch. Normally this one isn't the problem. Alright, you can pull this out, and that is that spring. This is the one that makes this spin more. And you can see all this stuff is built up on here. All right. So you can use a bunch of different things to clean this up. I'll just show you. In this bottle here, I have, this is some WD-40. We are sitting on top of a parts washer. I can use that too. You can do that. You can agitate this a little bit with a brush and wipe it off. All right. You have brake cleaner. Okay. Any steps of this. All right, so that cleans all that off. All right, there's your switch for your light. All right, so that's there. Now, this thing together. That's the thing, you got to watch. Okay, so here's our spring. Let's just clean this off. Okay, and then you have that little channel down in there. Like I said, I'm just trying to show this real quick. I'm not doing a full rebuild. Okay, alright. So, like I said, along with that, you want to get everything wiped down. And you can just see the little bit that I'm doing. It's probably good enough to make this thing work and not have any issues. You can see we got, this is on the inside. There's all kinds of dirt and debris. I mean, you got to figure dust and everything over the years. We're talking a 20-some-year-old latch here. All right, so I'm going to take this and our little spring, and just like with the other one, I'm going to give it a little bit more gently. You don't want to overdo this. I'm going to fit it back down in here. And then we're going to take our latch, get it seated. And that's going to move that. All right, so then I'm going to hold down on this. Ah, it popped out. Anyway, okay, let's just get this out of here. All right, so we have our latch out of there, and that spring is in there, so you can see just how much more we've made that able to move. So what I'll do, if you take pictures, you can take this apart, take pictures. That way you know where everything's at. I would suggest you clean everything out really nice. Like I said, look, just a little bit there. You can see where the rest of this dirt is. I'll take, this is a synthetic wheel bearing grease. And I'll just take this and I'll wipe it on the inside of this. Get everything reassembled. And, well, guess what? When that happens, everything works. It does what it's supposed to do. And we have a working latch. So even though I didn't fully redo this, I'm just going to stick a little bit here. Not only this, when you grease it, it'll help hold the spring down in too. Okay. So we're going to do this just like this. I'm taking this and sliding it down in so that we can get the piece down in there. All right, let's just clean this off quick. Really should. Like I said, I don't see it that often, but I've had people ask me about this. And I never made a video on it. So, all right, everything's sitting down in there. So we're going to take this, slide that down in, slide this one down in, tighten these up. Like I said, this isn't 100%. This is just to show for now. And like I said, this one was working, but they will get stuck and it will hold that latch open. Okay, so like if you're opening your door, it's going to be pushing this down right here, and then here's your latch. Okay, you always want to test it, make sure it latches and it holds. I don't know where that came from. There's a piece of paper in there. All right, so we're going to open this. Still, I could get that more, but if you notice now we have more. We actually have more spring to pop that open, but that's not really your problem. Like I said, it's this one here that catches that, the latch that catches that. That'll be stuck up. Look at how tight that goes now. Very minimal force. Look at that. It just pops right open. That's what you want to see, because like I said, that grease gets in there and it gets locked. All right, there you go. It's just a real quick one there on how to redo the latch. Make sure when you take this stuff out that you get everything put back in the way it goes too. So, and then there's where your plug goes for your dome light.